The Composing Kafka project was born out of love for a book and music, of course, to tell a story through our own eyes. That was the idea ever since it was first shared between a group of friends at the end of the last year, and by the time summer holidays came around, we had already scheduled online meetings to start working on the project.
Beyond other tasks, the first step was reading the book. We wanted to make sure everyone got the chance to read it and make their own interpretation of it before we came together as a group and decided how we wanted to see it translated into the score. Then we compiled everything into a document to send to our composers, who kindly accepted to work with us.
After some setbacks, with members leaving and changing, October came, and with the green light from our coach Naomi, we finally completed our first phase as an official group.
While we gave our collaborating composers the time to work on their piece, 3 compositions for the 3 chapters of the book, the venue needed to be chosen. After visiting some of the more interesting options, we chose Bibliothèque Permec for its matching aesthetic, all black, accessibility, and supporting technicians. But most of all, where else better to host a performance based on a book than the library?
So it was time for marketing. So we created our Instagram account where we shared our project's concept and its members. And you can actually check it out on Composing Kafka.
At this point, we had a defined concept. Ideas had been established, a team was built, a venue was chosen, and marketing started. Once the first draft of the scores came in, it was time to start rehearsing. The ideal opportunity came along with the next Stores week in February, and for those 5 days, we analyzed the scores while at the same time working to mature our vision for the more theatrical side of the performance. Essentially, the focus of the week was assuring the concept between the story and the music was being well constructed.
Unfortunately, the score of the second chapter differed too much from our intended soundscape, and many technical issues made it impossible to practice without any revision compared to the other movements. With April and the Easter holidays, so no rehearsal just around the corner, we need to get creative and think in another way to present the second chapter of Gregor's story. That's when the idea came, as the chapter focuses on Gregor and his family surviving through trial and error, improvising as they navigate in their life. What if you were to do the same? A musical improvisation. It would fit quite nicely, we thought.
And so we started working on our collective improvisation. First starting with some small exercises to learn how to think as a group, when to support and when to shine. Eventually going into longer experiments and adding mandatory themes, textures and cues to help organize the improvisation.
And speaking of the narrator, wasn't that a stressful situation? Because just 1 month before our performance, our narrator couldn't come anymore, so we were in urgent need of a new one. Quick hooray for good friends, because we got Sarah Simões to come and join us and help take that role, just in time for the run-through with our coach Naomi at the end of April.
Now that the project had already taken shape, it was time to share a bit more with your audience. Just a little taste of what was to come. The official poster and a trailer. And that was 2 weeks until the performance.
With the clock ticking, those 2 weeks were incredibly stressful. Still, despite any personal or collective problems, which is normal in this sort of environments, we worked day and night, relentlessly aiming to get this version of Composing Kafka as close to our vision as possible, present the best product we could.
Still, it was exciting to see our vision come to life, like on the general rehearsal day. It would be our first time at the venue, setting up the stage, and just the struggle of getting the harp there, by tram on strike day, may I add, was enough to clear any misconceptions. This would be an easy evening. Matter of fact, it wasn't, with retakes and complications leading the rehearsal into late hours.
But all that is worth it takes effort, and all the effort you put in will make it worthwhile. That's how it felt working alongside our great lights technician Noel and coach Naomi to build the world of Kafka as we saw it.
Then, with heavy rain and the storm incoming, which was the perfect mood for our recital, the 13th of May had arrived. After a quick rehearsal with some last-minute strikes of brilliance, the stage, props, makeup, recording material, focus and determination, everything was ready. Finally, it was showtime.
Once a door is open, it may never be closed again. A key turned, and Gregor's new body was revealed. What horror such a vision must bring! Enough to make the chief clerk run out the door, a maid fall in tears, imploring to be let go, and a family prisoner in their own home, bound by fear and confusion. However, not all was lost. Among the chaos, his sister took a chance on him.
It's done. The satisfaction of a job well done isn't enough to describe how we felt by the end of the concert. It was a relief knowing that everything was going according to plan, and even better. Pride in the effort everyone put in, and the joy we had successfully brought the story of Kafka's into our own world. That was all we ever wanted.
I really enjoyed it tonight. I wouldn't say it was a smooth performance. I was always like a bit scared of what was happening next, but taking the context and the story it was taken from, I think that the idea was there, and the story passed to the audience. So it really made me think that sometimes you're wanted in some place just because you can give something to someone else, but finally, if you cannot give anything, then people don't want you anymore, even if you're a family. So that's the story that I understood, and I really enjoyed. My favorite part was the part with the apple. A bit scary, not gonna lie, but it was a very good performance, and Pia did it very well. I really believe she was crying.
Well, I came into this not knowing the book, so when I heard there was a concerted performance, I thought it was going to be very melodic, very like symphony, harmony, but I was like surprised with the type of music. I was very interested in the story about the guy who got turned into an insect and how it dealt with his family, how it affected his family and their love for each other, and how it like dissolved. As for the music, it was very like, it was like a horror film, right? I enjoyed it, but at the same time I was like disgusted, horrified, like a bit, especially when the screaming, I was like, and the flashing lights, I literally had to close my eyes because I was like, oh no. But I really enjoyed the performance, and I think there was a lot of effort put in. You could tell from how they translated the book to the music.
The week that I saw this concert it was going to happen, I started the book, so I thought it was a very good coincidence, and I thought I have to see this. And during the concert, I thought this is making me feel the same way that I was feeling when I read the book. So it was very nice. It's not a very good experience to read the book because it makes you feel kind of anxious, but it's very good that all these ideas come through your body, and also this concert also made me feel like that. And even though there were a lot of weird noises and things going on, like very contemporary things going on everything made sense in their own world.
And as we were very happy to hear, the audience felt the same way. Everyone gave us, first of all, big clapping, which is always nice, and a lot of great compliments, good remarks. They were very enthusiastic about it, which made us feel great, of course. And having the jury agree with them and sharing our satisfaction only made it for the better. So it was just overall the perfect way to end a wonderful evening. Only better after some celebration and ice cream. Is what? Don't worry.
Now here we are.
We did what we set out to do.
We made music. We made art.
Ultimately, we shared Gregor's story, hoping it touched everyone the same way it did us. And is also what we are doing right now, sharing another story.
Ours. Which we're not half bad at.
Welcome to Composing Kafka's After Movie.
Careful, spoilers ahead.
Ok, action, action.
Vai para o teu lugar, Teresa.
This is me today. This will be me tomorrow. This will be me after tomorrow.
E muita gente. Posso começar? Tens que me dizer a ação.
Ação.
Opa, vai.
We made music.
Oh, Teresa, tu apareces, Teresa. Sai daí.
But most of all, what's better to host a performance based on a book than a library?
Diz a tua line.
Muito lhe vale.
Mulher, tu tens alguma coisa contra mim?
O setup das filmagens.
First play.
Olha, mas também é bom. Então...
Takes time.
Coisa do João.
Vídeo? Está com muito bem.
Então, gente, estamos prontos? Não! Está quase feito. Diz que sim. Eu vou soltar um bocado mal.
Posso?
Pode.
The Composing Kafka project was born.